Hi, welcome to Oasis. My name is Sherry. I am a massage therapist and colon hydrotherapist here at an Oasis of Healing. Now, today we're going to go over coffee enemas. So this is what you get in your kit. You get a coffee enema bucket, and you also get the coffee grounds. Now, this is not like the regular coffee you can get from the grocery store or a coffee shop. This is special coffee for enemas. So the brand we're using here, you can see, it's SS Wilson. It's grown in Canada, 100% organic. It's a light roast. Some people call it yellow coffee or gold roast. It's actually considered green coffee. Now, why green coffee? It's because it is a lighter roast and it's actually higher in caffeine. So you get this bag and it already comes pre-ground. Next, we're going to go into how to actually make a coffee enema. The quality of the pots are important, so you either want glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. We want to avoid any kind of Teflon or aluminum or microwaving. So you want to do 2 for 2. So 2 cups of spring or distilled water or reverse osmosis. I would go with spring water if you're just trying to get everything the same kind of water. So you want to put this on a medium heat. When it starts to have a low boil, we're going to add the coffee. Now I want to show you the color of the coffee before we add it. So if you were here to smell it, you would smell more of a peanutty taste. So this is what it looks like. So not what we think coffee looks like. Not the kind we drink anyway. So once this water starts to boil, then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of coffee. So another thing to know about this coffee is that it is mold free. So that's why this coffee is imported from Canada, because of the quality of the coffee. The caffeine plays an important role in the dilation and the palmic acid. So we are going to go into why to do coffee enemas. So when we're looking at the colon, the last portion of the colon, which is also known as the large intestines, the sigmoid portion right here, this is where when we have that feeling to evacuate, whatever is in here will eliminate. So when you do a coffee enema, and a coffee enema is a different type of enema. It's not a cleansing enema like your saline enema. This one is called a retention enema, meaning you hold it in your body, you retain it for 12 to 20 minutes. So when you're doing that, the purpose is to benefit your liver, but you may ask, okay, I know somewhat of anatomy. My sigmoid colon is on this side, but my liver is over here. How does that get to here? And that is a great question. So as it is sitting here, the coffee, as it's being retained, it will absorb into and trigger the sigmoid vein. Then from there, it will go to the portal valve of the liver. So that's why you want to hold the coffee a minimum of 12 minutes. So it has enough time to fully get absorbed and go to the liver. And that's why you do want a high caffeine rates as well. We don't want to use too much caffeine though, and you want to be aware if you do have any sensitivities to caffeine as well. Talk to your doctor if you do. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of the water starting to heat up. So what we want to do at this point is take 2 tablespoons. So 1, 2 tablespoons, and let it cook more. Now you can triple this recipe, double or triple it, and you can make enough for 3 days or 3 enemas. So it's suggested to do a coffee enema every morning, and it is great if you can complement it with a saline enema and to prep the body for the coffee enema. So you want to do this every morning. It's a good habit to start here, and then you want to carry this habit with you and take it with you when you go home as well and continue your coffee enemas. you're supporting your liver, and remember that a strong, healthy liver can help detox you to clear CFCs. So now we're waiting 15 to 20 minutes for this water to boil. We don't want a heavy rolling boil, but we just want a low boil to keep it steady for the whole time. And then after that, we turn it off, let it cool, and then we're going to filter it. And we'll come back to you then. Our coffee started to boil, so welcome back. And so I'm going to pour it into our measuring cup, just for the space we have. And then I will filter it before I pour it into the mason jar. So leaving behind the grounds, you'll see a lot of grounds here already. Then we want to take a metal strainer, or it's also called a sieve. You can also use a nut bag if you have one for making like almond milks and different kind of nut milks. And so this does have some grounds still in there, and we don't want that. So we're going to pour this here. So you can see we even strained out more of the grounds here and here. So we don't want that in there. And now what's suggested to do next is to let this cool off if it hasn't already. And then you want to, after it's cooled off, put the lid on and put it in the fridge overnight. And then you might say, well, how do I warm it up in the morning? So if you're warming it up in the morning, what you can do is take just some tap water, fill it up, turn it on. I'm going to put this in, but you have to make sure you turn it off first, because remember, the glass will break. And this will help the temperature get it to where you want it to be. You want it to be about 97, 98 degrees, about body temperature. And then once it's at a good temperature, we're going to show you how to pour it into your enema bucket. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the coffee enema bucket. So we have the coffee, I already took that out. It comes with a little pad that's waxed on one side. It's good for one-time use. It's the same idea as this Chuck or Med pad here. There also includes a single-use Castile soap concentrate to wash your bucket. We have the tubing right here, and we have the bucket itself. I'm going to move this extra stuff out of the way. Okay. Just a friendly reminder, we're not going to leave the cap on for the enema itself. It's only on there right now because it comes pre-lubricated. So I don't want to touch that while I'm getting everything prepared. And when you're doing it when you're preparing it for yourself, you don't need to, but if I'm preparing this for somebody else, I'm going to be using gloves. So attaching the tube at first, it's ribbed right here. So I'm going to attach this part here. Make sure it's all the way in. You wouldn't want anything to leak out here. Okay, you want it all the way back to the base. Now, sometimes in manufacturing, you'll find little like crumbs from material that got in here, like cardboard or something. So it's always good to give this a good rinse out first before. And then what we're going to do next before pouring the coffee in is we want to pinch off the line. So this right here, it's open and close valve. So right now it's open. So we want to close this off. And you'll get the hang of it, but at first it feels different. So it takes getting used to. So you want to try to be able to do this with one hand because that's what you're going to be doing when you're doing this at home. So I have it pinched off right now. Then I'm going to pour the coffee in. So if you ever boil your coffee and it goes below two cups, you can add in some more hot water. You don't need to cook it again, and it will also help you get to the temperature. So we're going to pour it in the bucket. Next, we're going to hang it up. Now, if you don't have an S hook, then you're going to want to find a knob to hang this on. So we're going to hang this on a knob, and then we're going to feed the line through so that the coffee goes through the tube and there's no air. If you have a hook, this is perfect. If you have an IV pole type of hook, that's perfect. Or if you have knobs on the doors, or if you have an S-clip, those kind of things really help for when you're hanging it up. So my ideal place to hang it up is on the shower rod. If you don't have a hook to hang it up on the shower rod, then you can find a knob. So knobs like this do help. Now you want to either put a rug and a towel on the floor, or a towel in the bathtub, or some people do prefer to lay on their bed. And so if you do that, you want to get a chuck or a med pad and even a towel underneath, which I don't think you'll really need because the med pad usually covers it, but you would want to lay on that. So you're going to lay on your left side, and then you want to use a lubricant of your choice, preferably coconut oil. And then you'll take, at that point, you will take this cap off, and then you will, I like to put the coconut oil on a paper towel first. So if there's too much, you can wipe it off on there. You want to apply it to all the tip around here, because even though it becomes lubricated already, it's not enough. It's just enough that you touch it and you'll get lubrication on your fingers. So then after you take this off, you want about 2 to 3 inches to be inserted. And the reason you don't want to do less is because there's a hole at the end here, and there's also a hole on the side. So if it goes in too short, then the coffee can also come out. So you have this inserted into your body, and then next thing you want to do is open this up. So it's closed right now. You want to open this up. So you're using your fingers here and then pushing the tube over to the other side. When that happens, you may feel a lot of liquid or fluid coming in at once. If that's the case, you can close it off, or you can pinch the tube. Don't like to get too many pinches in the tube, but until you're figuring out how to close it off again, then you want to, and then take in some coffee, give yourself a moment if you get the urge to go to the bathroom, and then take in more fluid. So you want to keep taking in the fluid until you run out of fluid. So when all the coffee is out of the bucket and it's in your body, then you want to pinch this off again. So you want to make sure that you close this off, because you don't want the coffee making a mess, because coffee does stain. If you have the cap, you can put the cap back on, move it out of the way. You can stay on your left side, you can lay on your back, you can take a yoga mat or a wedged pillow, or you can take a yoga block or fold a pillow and wedge it under you, under the sacral area, so you have some gravity helping you. You can put your feet up against the wall. So there's different ways. People put a timer. Some people like to read or just go on their phone and be distracted. You could do a meditation. Anything that allows you to retain the coffee for 12 to 20 minutes. Ideally, we want to get to 20 minutes. And so you want to not think about having to go to the restroom. Things to be mindful if you are on your bed is you have to be able to get to the bathroom on time. Some people do take their pad with them just to be on the safe side. If you're in the bathroom, even though the floor can be uncomfortable, you're a lot closer to the toilet. So, but if you have bad knees or it's hard to get up and down from the floor, the bed is an option as well. So if you have any other questions, or if you tried it and you want to share your feedback with me, My name is Sherry, and I am your helpful colon hydrotherapist. Thank you.